Welcome to DevTV. I'm your host, Dan Young. We're actually co-host today because we are joined by a very special guest, the delightful Rachel Collingridge. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you for the lovely intro. I am the new development manager on the XeroAPI team, so I'm here to help the teams get things out of the door more easily. I'm a development manager, but I also do some other things. Surprise, I've been a developer for a really long time. I've played a lot of clarinet. That's a different story. I like to run on the trails around Wellington, and I've got a gorgeous dog who will no doubt feature in some future series. So yeah, that's a bit about me. What are we doing today, Dan?
Alright, so today folks, we are going to be having a look at some API news. Now Rachel's going to be doing that segment. We'll be hearing from Adam Moore again, who'll be here in Release Desk, and we'll have Grace Rooney back to name, hopefully not shame, in her segment called Community Corner. So, give us the TLDR.
Okay, so I've got some API news for you today. Got quite a few numbers in API news on my handy post-it. We had 25 new apps in the marketplace in the last couple of months, which is awesome. We had 3,000 people go to Xerocon UK, which is amazing, like a rock concert. And to back that up, there was a 68-metre screen, TV screen. Yeah, bigger than the 50-metre one last year. That wasn't big enough.
Too small, if anything.
Small.
Too small.
Only one Olympic size for me. So that is the amazing numbers we had going on. Also, I want to tell you about the buildathon that we did with the delivery teams. So just before we rolled into the summer break, we wanted to do something a bit different. We had a few people using Raspberry Pis, which is cool. And we also had the Teletext app, was definitely my favourite. Throwback to the 80s, one of my favourite decades. Dan, what about you? Best app, not favourite decade.
I was about to jump in and say Russell's app, the Christmas present giving app, was definitely my favourite.
Okay, cool. Stops you getting too many pairs of corgi socks for Christmas.
Exactly.
So that was
Never
a good one.
too many, but yeah, absolutely.
Cool, so that's what we've been doing in API land. Over to you, Dan.
Awesome, thank you, Rachel. It's also fair to mention a couple of pieces of content that the team got out over the last couple of months. So there were some blog posts, really good blog posts on devblog.xero.com. Also a couple of really good how-to guides on our Xero Developer YouTube channel, and one awesome sample app by Ken, our new developer evangelist in Melbourne. So that's pretty cool.
We love Ken.
Ken's
Ken's great.
And but right now, we are going to head over to hear from Adam Moore. He's back with Release Desk. I believe you had a chat to him earlier on.
I did have a chat to Adam. He had lots of amazing stuff to say. So let's go talk to Adam.
Let's go.
Okay, I'm here with the lovely Adam Moore, who we've let out of Product Land really briefly to tell us about what's going on. Why don't we start with what happened last year?
Wow, yeah, cool. Another big year for us at XeroAPI Product Land. Thanks, Rachel. Big focus on the marketplace last year, so we moved that into the app so we can get your apps in front of the right customers at the right time, which is really cool. We'll continue improving on that this year as well as still manage to squeeze out a few API features. The number one at the time was emailing invoices, so it was really good to get that out. History of notes was another big one, and batch payments via the API as well, which was really cool.
Amazing. So tell us about the year coming up.
Yeah, well, still on the user voice page, we've got bank statements sitting up at number one now since email invoices went away. So that's rolling out well. We've got about 6 partners up and running on that, and we'll roll that out more broadly throughout this year. So stay tuned. And number 2, if you've been keeping notice, quotes is now in plan status as well. So we'll be picking up work on that soon too.
Awesome. Anything else? Speaking of awesome.
Authum. Oh, glad you mentioned. Auth 2 and
Whoa.
single sign-on OpenID Connect coming soon to a XeroAPI near you. And by soon, I mean more towards the middle of the year, but keep your eye out and keep watching DevTV.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that, Adam.
No worries. Back to you, Dan.
Thanks, Adam. Always awesome to hear what the team have been working on, and I'm super excited about these sort of big capabilities that are coming down the pipe very soon for our developer community. And I think the community will be very, very psyched about quotes coming up. It's only been 8 years, so better late than never. Am I right? So, I did have a question for you, though.
Okay.
Don't think you're going to get off this easy on your first
I think I'm ready.
As someone who's been in development for a while,
Mm-hmm.
you know, won't say how long, you know, for a while, how do you keep up to date with so many new technologies like happening on a day-to-day basis? Even this week, I think 50 new JavaScript frameworks came out.
If not more. No, really good question. My Visual Basic Learn It in 24 Hours book could only actually take me so far, I found out. So obviously there's Google, your friend Google, but when it comes to the XeroAPI, we've got quite a few ways that you can get in touch with us. So one of those would be the community forum.
We also have Stack Overflow.
Obviously Twitter, which one all the time.
And you could email us at api@xero.com.
And of course, in this DevTV episode, we're going to have a segment where the lovely Grace answers questions. And the extremely cool thing about that is not only do your questions get answered, but if they do, you get swag. Whatever's left in the cupboard after Dan has taken it home, you can get. So love to hear your questions through those forums. So without any further ado, let's get Grace and we can find out who's getting a t-shirt.
Oh, hello there. Welcome back to Community Corner, where I answer questions. Oh, sorry, I'm actually back now, where I answer questions from our Xero Developer community. Our first question is from Israel on Twitter. Israel wants to know where the tenant ID comes from in the webhook response. All triggered events are applicable to a specific tenant. That means that it's likely to be an organization ID, or it could be a practice ID. Thomas also wants to know something about webhooks and how they work with the 30-minute auth window. You must have a persistent connection to the XeroAPI to use webhooks. That means that public apps aren't really suitable because they expire after 30 minutes. So you can use either a private app or a partner app. In order to get a partner app, you'll need to register for the App Partner program and work with your developer evangelist like me. For more information on private, public or partner apps, or more details on the App Partner program, you can check out developer.xero.com. Our last question is from DevL. DevL wants to know how you calculate discounts on line items. There are two important things you need to know about this. One, Xero will always take the discount rate away from 100 before calculating the line item amount. Two, Xero will also round up 2 decimal places. In your case, the line item amount is $22.50 and it has a discount of 15%. So the calculation for this will be 100 minus 15 divided by 100 times $22.50. Simplified, this is 0.85 times $22.50. That gives you a line item amount of $19.12.5. Xero will round that to be $19.13. To calculate the discount, you simply need to do $22.50 minus $19.13 for a final discount total of $3.37. Your app will either need to calculate the line item discount in the same way, or you can add an adjustment and this can be reconciled later. Thanks for your questions this time in Community Corner. You can keep sending them in via api@xero.com, YouTube, Twitter, or our community forums. Look forward to seeing you next time, and remember, there's swag up for grabs. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Grace. That is definitely my favourite segment of the show now, the Community Corner. So that was really informative. Thank you very much for that. And we've reached the end point of this episode, folks. So thanks a lot for joining us. And thank you, Rachel, for being on the show too. Debut. Very nice. So post comments down below about that and subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell as well. My team tell me that it's all very well to subscribe, but if you don't click the bell, you don't get notified of new content. So they are telling me how the world works again. So
on a daily basis.
That's all good. It's what they pay them for, But what else can people do?
Well, we've got all the social things. We've got Twitter and Instagram. You can find us there at XeroAPI. Couple of bonus dog-related Instagram accounts there for you now. Just a bit of a plug. At jaspers.life and at Mama the Corgi. If you like dogs and you like APIs, those are the handles for you.
Yeah, you won't regret it.
Don't forget as well, we've got the Xero Developer podcast if you want to do some listening.
Excellent. For your listening pleasure, Season 2 may be coming up in the near future. So thanks everybody for joining us, and say hi to your motherboard from us. We'll see you next time.